very hard to navigate what women truly expect out of us. With the hard left saying the only way to a woman's heart is toxic masculinity and treating girls as if they mean nothing. And then the far right saying if you don't identify as some type of pink fairy, you don't respect women. When you're young and unexperienced, it feels virtually impossible to truly understand what women really want out of a man. So today we're going to be talking about some of the top green flags that women actually care about in men. Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a slightly different video, almost unscripted, not almost, actually unscripted. We're going to do something different today. And the reason today is going to be a little bit different is because instead of just hearing it from my mouth, me just kind of spewing my own thoughts and ideas about what I think women want out of a man, I've actually reached out to some of my female friends for them to give me their personal feedback and opinions on what they think they want out of a man. So I think it's gonna be very dope for you guys to hear opinions from women that are actually out there today and not only listen to what I think these girls want. Now I will say I haven't listened to any of the recordings yet, so I don't know what the girls are actually thinking or what they're going to say. But what I do think is going to happen, some girls are gonna say things that me personally, now I will say it's just an opinion, they're probably gonna say something along the lines of what they think they want, but I'll go ahead and give that feedback on whether I agree or disagree with what they're saying. So I think this is going to be an interesting format. I really hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. If you guys enjoy it, we can definitely keep this up and I can get some of my other lady friends to participate on the channel. I want you guys to know that I'm going to be showing the ladies. I did ask them for their permission whether they want to stay anonymous or if they would like to be shown on camera. And I'm doing this just so you guys can see the caliber of women that have these opinions. These are all very beautiful ladies. And I want you guys to be able to see that because at the end of the day, I'm sure you guys want to be with these type of women. To be able to just hear it from the source and not just some random guy on the internet, I think is going to be a very interesting take. But before we get into what these ladies think are green flags that they need in a man, we got one that I know is 100% a fact, and that is taking care of yourself. And a big part of taking care of yourself is your skincare. And that's why I'm happy to announce our comeback sponsor again with Tej Hanley. Tej Hanley makes starting a skincare routine so incredibly easy for guys like you and me, man. It's actually pretty insane. Guys, I'll say it again. If you go and start with their level 1 skincare system, you're gonna get all the essentials you need to have a consistent, great skincare routine. The daily face wash to remove any dirt and grime in your pores. This exfoliating cream to get rid of those dead skin cells that build up on your skin. You're only going to want to use this one like twice a week max. AM moisturizer with SFP 20, which is absolutely crucial for protection from the sun. And the PM one's going to keep your skin hydrated, healthy, and moisturized all throughout the night. Now, something about Tej Hanley that I absolutely love is that every single box includes one of these instruction cards, and it's going to show you exactly how to use every single product. How much, how little, the correct order. It makes everything super simplified that, bro, I mean, anybody can get onto this. If you're a consistent viewer here on this channel, you know I've been advocating for Tej Hanley because I've been personally using it, guys, and it has transformed my skin completely. And if I'm being honest, man, before Tej Hanley, I was just one of those guys that was just washing my face with soap water, and you know, that never really worked for me. But this was the first product that was actually able to get me to be consistent and actually get down with skincare, and I'm truly very happy with the results. And you do not have to just take my word for it. Tej Hanley has over 10,000 5-star reviews from other happy customers from around the world. With that being said, our people over at Tej Hanley has been really messing with what we've been doing over here. So they've hooked us up again with another amazing deal. If you click the link in the description right now, you're gonna get 40% off of your first skincare system. That's gonna come with one of their free gifts, plus as a member you get 20% off for life. One of those free gift options that I think are absolutely amazing, I use this every single night now, is their silicone body scrubber. It's about $20 in value, and I promise you it is so much better than the loofah. So guys, if you're tired of dealing with skincare problems, click the link in my description, get down with my people over at Tej Hanley, and they're gonna get you right so you're able to start your skincare journey today. And with that being said, let's get right back to the video. Let's get right into it and see what this first one's talking about.
The top things I look for in a man is if they share the same values as me, someone who's family oriented, someone who has good work ethic and is ambitious. And I also look for someone who can process their emotions effectively or actively tries to work on that. As humans, we can react in all sorts of ways in different situations, but a man who can reflect on his reactions and who can try to control his emotions in tough situations is a green flag.
Okay, so I almost played it again. So One thing that we've talked a lot about on this channel is work ethic. And the reason work ethic is so important as a man is because without work ethic, you don't have any goals, you don't have any ambition. You're pretty much just kind of free balling life. You don't know what direction you're heading in, and you don't even have an idea of what the end of your road looks like. So I can't stress this enough, guys. Having goals and having a strong work ethic is so important, because at the end of the day, a woman wants to be able to look at her man and know that he's going to be able to provide for her. Now, every situation is different, you know. There's nothing wrong with women working. There's nothing wrong with a woman also supporting a relationship unit. But at the end of the day, as a man, you have to be able to step up to the plate and take care of your woman and take care of your family. So at a base level, instinctively, women are going to want to always be able to look at their man and know and feel confident that their man is able to get shit done. And if he doesn't know the answer, at least he has the resources and skills to try and go figure it out. The second thing she talked about was more centered around having emotional intelligence. I think there's a lot of different layers to it. I know in today's culture, it's very easy for a man to come off as weak, sorry, a bitch nigga, if he's overly expressive with his emotions. And I'm gonna go ahead and even co-sign that you do kind of fuck your chances up with a girl if you're an overly emotional man. But to not be overly emotional doesn't also mean to be like this ghost of a person. Nobody wants to be in a relationship with pretty much a wall, somebody with no type of personality, somebody that's not able to, be transparent about how they're feeling. And there's very fine lines. And again, I've always told you guys, something that is very important as a man is being neutral, staying in a place where you can overly emotional. And the pros and cons to not being overly emotional and staying in that neutral space is you are able to make good sound decisions without being overly influenced by your sad feelings or mad feelings, or sometimes even your overly excited and happy feelings. Emotional intelligence is very important. I've talked about it in my other videos, so you guys can, go to that for reference. But that was some really good feedback. Let's get on to the next one.
I think number one is for that man is to be God-fearing. To me, it's very essential that a man has a strong foundation in Christ. Me being a Christian myself, I believe that a man that pursues the Lord is going to be more than able to pursue me and love me the right way, because the Spirit of the Lord is within him. And I understand that a good man is supposed to love their wife or their significant other as Christ loved the church. And I believe a Christian man that's founded in that principle is going to be able to love me properly. Number two, I believe...
I'm gonna pause her in the middle of that because we don't really talk too much about religion on this channel. And the reason I don't talk too much about religion on this channel is because there's so many different religions. Me personally, I'm a Christian. I do believe I could be a better Christian, a stronger Christian, but I do put a lot of faith in God. I give everything to God. I pray every single night, and I think it's important that again, I'm not going to be the one that's going to try to convert you or tell you what you should or shouldn't do with your religion, but I think faith is very important. Faith is very important. Like she said, a man that has faith and is putting his power, is God-fearing, is a man that's righteous, and a man that, we're not perfect, but at the end of the day, we make decisions based off of our core values that are rooted in our God-fearing nature, meaning that we do not want to upset the Lord, meaning that we do not want to break his laws and his commandments. And for a lack of better words, do the right thing. Respect people, don't lie, be honest, treat your peers the right way. Guys, if you treat everyone around you like shit, there's probably a high chance that you're not going to treat your woman right either. So these are also qualities that a woman's going to look at in a man, and they're going to pick up on that. If you're an asshole to everybody, she's not going to feel inclined that she's going to be the lucky one that you're going to treat nice. And 9 times out of 10, that wouldn't be the case anyway. Like, if you treat everyone with respect, chances are you're going to treat your woman with respect too, and that's always going to be a green flag.
Two, I believe it's a man that knows how to properly communicate his emotions. I understand that for men, especially for Black men, it's very hard to be vocal about how they feel because of all the things and all the traumas that have been, installed into them from a young age, as far as, whether you express how you feel, you're weak or you're soft, or, you are P-U-S-S-Y, for lack of a better word. So I think a man that has been able to overcome those traumas and it's vocal about how he feels is very essential to me. And number three, I think Another green flag is a man that pays attention to small details. Like, I will prefer a guy that pays attention to the small details, as far as like whether I like a certain snack or I like a certain flower or something like that. It takes note and keeps that in mind to then, bring it up or just pop out with it at a random date. So yeah, I think those will be my 3 main green flags. There's a bunch of others, but I guess those are the first ones that come to my mind.
Nice. Thank you. That's 2 on emotions. We've heard 2 girls bring that up so far. And again, I do think it's very important. Now, I think she got a little bit more specific as she talked about a man showing their emotions. This one, again, I feel as if there's some truth to it. I feel like a man needs to be able to show their emotions, but again, especially in that early stage as you're getting to know a woman, I do not think that's a place where you need to be overly emotional with your woman. At the end of the day, if you've been together for years and she knows you, you know her, you guys are very comfortable with each other, if something's wrong, yes, you need to be able to open up to your woman and be able to express how you're feeling so that you guys can, pivot in the right direction, especially if the disconnect is coming from your relationship. So being able to communicate your emotions as a man is very important. But again, just to be clear, I do think in those early talking stages, as you're trying to win a woman over for her to potentially be a long-term partner with you, I don't think that's a good place for you to be overly emotional. And just in general, man, it's like, I don't want to put a negative stigma or negative pressure, but I just think you as a man should be striving to be a leader. You as a man should be striving to be able to have your shit together, hold shit down, and not in no toxic way. Just in a way where it's just like, I'm able to accept that there's problems going on around me and I'm wanting to go fix it. I think that's also can be rooted in ambition. And the last one she said was paying attention to the small details. This is also very important. I think this is even important on the woman's end as well. We all like people that appreciate us. We all like to be around people that, show that they care. So paying attention to the small details, if your girl says she likes this type of coffee, or, this is her favorite snack, or I don't know, her favorite color is red, so you buy her a red t-shirt or something of that nature. Like, I think paying attention to the small details are very important. It's essential for keeping a relationship going, keeping it strong, healthy throughout it's just being compassionate, being thoughtful, and not just being, selfish as a man. A selfish man will never be a thriving man. So that's a very interesting and important point that she brought up. All right, let's hear this next one.
Okay, so 3 things that are green flags to me. Number 1 is your sense of humor. I feel like if you can't make me laugh, go away, because I love funny things myself. I love comedy. I'm very sarcastic. I use sarcasm for everything in my life. So yes, that's one of my main things. Be goofy together. Don't be afraid to just act a fool. But I do like someone who is funny and makes me laugh. Number 2 is, I think, definitely communication. Seeing that, you listen to things that I've addressed, or just things that I care about, or things that I'm bringing up to you that bother me, and making the effort into, fixing things. I think that's very important to me. I hate feeling ignored, so especially if I'm talking to you and you're just not paying attention, you're just stuck to your phone, and that's a no. So someone who just drops everything, just listens, I think that's a green flag.
All right, let me touch on those before I start forgetting stuff. So she brought up sense of humor. We haven't heard that yet. And yeah, bro, I mean, I think that falls into the personality category. I mean, bro, yeah, it's cool to be stoic and have the aura and, all this bullshit that, is being preached. It's not even bullshit. I think there's truth to it. You don't want to be a goofball. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, if you can't have a sense of humor with your partner, like, that relationship's going to be boring as fuck. Why would she want to be with somebody that is literally, a wall? I feel like I heard myself say this a little bit earlier in the video. This video is unscripted, so it's a little bit different for me. But, yeah, man, you guys have to have a personality that is like baseline everything. But here's the secret about having a personality: just be yourself, man. Just be yourself. Some girls aren't going to mesh well with your personality because you guys just aren't meant to be together. Maybe she doesn't like your sense of humor. That doesn't mean you don't have a sense of humor. She just might not like yours. But there's somebody else out there that would mesh well with you. So, I think it's important to not try to force that type of relationship. If your guys' vibe isn't just connecting naturally, then, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But be yourself. Be yourself, the purest form of yourself, and don't be afraid to be fun sometimes. One of the biggest things you can do to help communicate with a woman is talk to them like your friends, man. And I don't mean in like the weird way, but you joke around and laugh with your friends. You don't think your girl wants to have a good time too? Sometimes you can let her in on the joke, and that's cool. Next, she talked about paying attention to her. I think we kind of went over that already. It seemed like the last one, it was talking more about paying attention to the minor things that she likes. She's talking about paying attention to the things that, she's probably bringing up. She said, hey, I don't like this, or, I'm feeling sad about this. Can I have your full attention? That's important too, man. I can admit I'm probably not the absolute best in that area. That's probably one of my red flags. And it's not that I don't care. I'm very passionate and I care deeply about anyone that I'm involved with. But I think where I personally struggle is sometimes I'm just so focused, man. I'm so focused on my work and, elevating and what I got going on that I might neglect other people's feelings. I might not be as flexible trying to, change my life and my workflow for somebody else. So, that's something that I have to work on. But, I also think there's a time and place for that. As a man, if you're in that phase of your life where you're working on yourself, you're truly just committed to your goals and your occupation in life, you just might not be in a position to take dating seriously. Now, granted, if your partner is willing to rock with you and they understand that you might just be a little bit more selfish in that area, I think that could be a good and healthy thing too. Being able to pay attention to the small details, especially in your woman. If she's bringing up problems to you, you have to be able to address those problems and figure it out with her.
Third, I would say I think someone who just remembers the little things, like paying attention to things that I like, food, like you bring me whatever I love to eat, or you bring me something that's like a favorite character of mine, things, just little things that you remember, like details of your partner. So yeah, those are my 3 things.
Yeah, no, that I think those kind of blended with the last point. I think maybe she said communication, so maybe that's what threw it off, but she kind of still was lingering in the same world of just paying attention to the small details, just showing appreciation, man. Appreciation is big, it's important. But we've talked about it, so let's keep it pushing and see what else we got.
It's important that when you're looking for your other half, you look out for all the green signs. With that being said, the big 3 for me are the first one being respect. I think respect is huge in a relationship. You have to find someone that values your opinions and admires your accomplishments. With respect comes a healthy relationship because it helps build trust, empathy, and understanding.
Respect is big. Respect is big. If you can't respect your woman, if you honestly look at your woman and you're like, you ain't nothing, you're a clown, you're a joke to me, or you're nothing, that's not a woman that you should take seriously. And it goes the same way if you're a woman and you're looking at your man and like, you're lazy, you're a bum, you have no ambition, you're a clown. Same thing. Respect goes both ways, and that's kind of universal, honestly. As a man, you want to be someone that is respected, and that's someone, again, that treats people with respect. So if you want to be respected, you have to treat people with respect, and that goes a long way. So I'm never gonna subscribe to the treating woman like they ain't nothing culture. That's never been cool. I don't know when it ever got cool. That's lame as fuck. Now me personally, I have a potty mouth. I do I be saying fuck and bitches and all shit like that. But behind closed doors, if I'm talking to my homies, that I may talk in that manner, but I would never, will never, to a woman's face, call her out of her name. It's always respect, and I think as a man, that is something that's very important. Again, me personally, I'm working on, just in general, trying not to call women bitches and hoes and all that stuff, just in general. But you should never, there's never a case where you should look at a woman I don't care what they're doing or what they're saying. Even if they're disrespecting you, you should never be calling a woman a bitch, a hoe, or anything out their name. And that's just how it should be as a man. So I think that's important. That was a very good point.
The next one for me would be that they're curious about you. You want someone to be curious about you, that shows signs, that's asking questions, remembering details, and just they're engaged. That helps bring comfort in a relationship, and anyone would want a good listener.
Yeah, she kind of touched on something that we've touched about before, but she kind of niched in on the curious point. I think that's true. Everybody kind of likes to feel like they're important. So if you make your woman feel important, you make it seem like you give a fuck of what she got going on in her life. Yeah, she's definitely gonna feel a lot more perky and engaged and like, wow, this guy actually gives a fuck, So I think that's important. I do think there's a balance. I do think if you're just like this nerdy guy, what are you doing today? All day, 24/7, that could be a turnoff too. That's why I do think, face-to-face interaction is also important. Don't spend all your time just texting all day. It's a lot easier to let off that curiosity for your woman. Getting out into the world, building real memories with her is going to do a lot more for that curiosity and finding out about your woman instead of just texting her all day. So I think that's very important. Obviously, if it's long distance, get on the phone, FaceTime, whatever it is. But yeah, I think that's a good point, but I think there's a balance there. You don't want to be like prying this super nosy guy. I think that could also be a turnoff in my personal opinion.
The next one I would choose, lastly, is that they make an effort. What does that mean? You want someone that, they're decent, that can make time for their partner. It's important that you make time for each other outside of all the stuff we deal with in life. It's really important that no matter in your busy schedules, you guys have those promises to me and have time one-on-one. It's important to feel as if your partner is as passionate for you as well.
We kind of touched on that already, but I think just to drill home, something that just popped up in my head was, as a man, if you say you're gonna do something, then you should do it. So it's one thing to be very busy and you communicate that you're busy and that you can't make any time at this point in time, and she accepts that. That's one thing. But if you're the type of person that's like, hey babe, we're gonna be going out this Saturday at this time, make sure you're ready, create time, because we're gonna spend some time together. So now she's excited, she's looking forward to this date, whatever it is, and last minute, sorry babe, I got caught up at work, it's a no-go. That is not cool. That's never gonna be cool. It's a very important quality to just stand on your word. Obviously there are emergency scenarios where it's like there's nothing you can do about it, and I'm sure if your partner fucks with you, they'll understand. But a good quality in a man is just somebody that means what they say and do what they mean. So if I say I'm gonna do this, it's going to get done, and I abide by that, man. Like, if I want to do something and I say I'm gonna do it, I'm going to do it. And that's through everything, through my goals and through my promises. If I say I'm gonna do this, I'm going to do it. And it doesn't matter what happens, I'm gonna get it done. And that's how I like to move. So I think that's very important as a man. So if you tell your lady that, hey, we're gonna be hanging out at this time, I'm making time for you, make sure you clear your schedule or whatever, she's gonna be looking forward to that. She's gonna be expecting you to step up to the plate and make sure that happens regardless of anything. And if you keep making it a pattern that you a flip-flopping ass nigga, yeah, she gonna leave your dumb ass. So that's very important. And yeah, that was a very dope point. I like that.
A green flag that I look for in a partner is someone who pays attention to detail. I just think it shows their willingness to learn things about me. I don't know. It's just very comforting and reassuring when a man shows that they've been listening to what I'm saying. And it really can be as simple as noticing my favorite snacks or my favorite coffee, really.
So that seems to be a very common denominator amongst the ladies, man. They want you to know and pay attention to the small details of what they like, and I think that's valid, bro. I'm sure I've said it in other videos before. Maybe I'm saying it again for the third, fourth time in this video, but clearly pay attention to the small details, guys. If she says she likes something, make that mental note in your head, or maybe write it down, my nigga. If you anything like me, sometimes you just gotta write that shit down. Like, fuck, I don't remember her favorite color, but I know if I go check this note, it's gonna be right there. You know what I'm saying?
Another green flag I look for in a man is someone that is kind to the people around him, even the ones that don't benefit him at all. Like, if we're going out to dinner and you're just straight up just being rude to our waiters, like, that's a complete turn off to me. I don't like that at all. And also just how he interacts with his family. I don't come from a particularly close family, and that is something I want in the future when I'm ready to have a family of my own. Also, I'm very sympathetic. I know that people come from different families and different backgrounds, so I know that all plays a role into that.
Yeah, we've touched on that. We talked about treating people with respect, man. That's huge. That's huge. Guys, if you guys are treating everyone like shit, you can't expect people to like you. You're not a likable person, you know? And again, if you're treating everyone around you like shit, what makes you think your woman's gonna think that you're gonna treat her any different? It's very unlikely. Or at the very least, you might put on a front that you are, but when things really get sticky and times really pass, that mask is eventually gonna fall off and your true colors are gonna show. So again, if you have a bad habit of, being an asshole, you guys need to flip the switch. Now, let me make this clear. There is a difference between not being an asshole and just being some pussy pushover ass nigga. Treating somebody with respect doesn't mean that you're a fucking doormat, because I guarantee you women do not like no doormat ass niggas either. So don't make that confusion. You definitely need to stand up for what you believe in. Check bullshit right when bullshit happens. Don't wait till later. But you can do that in a respectful way. Instead of saying, yo, what the fuck did you just say to me? You can just say, hey man, I don't like how you're speaking to me right now. I'd appreciate it if you tone it down. That's two completely different conversations.
Some things that I look for in men is, first of all, a relationship with God. If you don't believe in God, unfortunately, I don't think our relationship could last, because that's a very big part in my life. I know that's going to be different for a lot of people because everybody has their own religion and beliefs, but in my personal life, that's the number one biggest thing. Second, communication. If you can't communicate, then the relationship won't work, because I don't need you to communicate every hour of the day, but I definitely need you to communicate at least kind of what's going on. And lastly, you have to be empathetic, meaning that you have to have emotions and not be nonchalant, because no girl wants a man that's nonchalant and doesn't show any emotions. So, yeah.
Okay, so, we talked about God earlier. Again, it clearly seems to be very important. I think God is important just in general. You guys that are, have no faith, I mean, hey, bro, like I said, this isn't the conversion Christianity channel. But I do think it's very important to have faith, understand that there's a higher being, somebody that's leading the way, man. And that's going to put a lot of your morals in check, because if you were God-fearing, you understand that, I don't want to go to hell. They say hell is you burning in the pits of fire for eternity. And I don't know if you guys know what eternity means, but that means never ending. So I don't want to be burning my ass off in hell. So at the very least, I'm going to try to do the right thing, give myself the best chance to get into heaven. Now, again, I'm not going to turn this into something that isn't. I'm not Mr. Pull up the Bible verses and stuff, because I don't know. I don't. And I need to improve on that. But, it's very clear that having some type of faith is very important in general. That's not just for women, just in general. Any man that is God-fearing is going to be a righteous man that is truly doing his best on this earth. Then she brought up communication. We've heard that one before. Guys, if you can't talk to women, if you can't hold a valuable conversation and, just exchange value through each other, it's never going to work. You're not going to have even good relationships with friends, much less a relationship. So get your communication skills up. I have different videos where we talk specifically about that. In this video, we're just kind of touching on it and getting these thoughts and opinions from women so that, we can think about it in the future. But that was really good. Let's get on to the next one.
Me personally, what I like in a guy is a guy being himself. Meaning by he doesn't have to act like everyone else. He built his own characteristic, like he built himself up. Like he's setting goals to himself. He's building himself up to be a better person in the future, or building himself up to be better for himself or the next person he wants to be in his life. I love a guy who's just, just be who they say they are, because I don't want a guy to pretend who they say they aren't. So that's a green flag for me. That's one.
Okay, that's something new, and I think that's something that's very, very, very important. I mean, not just with relationships, but in general. If you don't know how to be yourself, if you can't walk into the room, you know, fully confident in the man you are, then you are not a worthy man. And definitely not worthy to truly satisfy a woman, because at the end of the day, you don't even know who you are. You don't even know what you are. You don't even have an identity that matches with your true essence and presence as a man. Now, let me make this clear. There's a difference by being inspired by others versus just copycatting others. And I think it's very cool and important that, you know, men can take inspiration from other men. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, we can always see through the bullshit. You guys all know those friends that are in the friend group that are just ad-libbing off this guy's personality. Like, he doesn't have his own identity. You know, we could always see through the bullshit. So don't think for a second that if you can see through the bullshit on somebody else, that they can't see it through you. Be yourself, strive to be yourself, and become the best version of yourself, and that's always going to be very attractive to a woman. I know this has been a very different video, but I had this idea and I thought it would be dope. So, you know, you guys let me know in the comments if you guys enjoyed this type of video. Again, it's unscripted, so it's a little bit different than what we're used to. But I think it gave some good insights and left some good conversations. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. If you guys want me to interview more women and, you know, do something like this, I'll definitely do that. Reach out to some of my female friends and maybe even, you know, talk to some randoms. But I think the main takeaways here, guys, is be yourself, be confident within yourself, continue to work on yourself, have goals. Be passionate about your goals so that you can be a man that can truly provide for a woman, because that's always going to be one of the most attractive things. And I think everything aligns with that. Having faith. I'm not a perfect Christian, man. I have no shame in saying that. Like, I know I got to get better at it. And I think we all do, right? But to not have any faith, I think that's just going to be a detrimental decision for the rest of your life. So figure that out. Definitely figure that out. That's all I got for you guys today. My name's Berto, and I'll see you on the next one.
Where you at, Berto?